Hello, scholars. It's me, Professor Blindie, and you're tuned into another episode of Off Period. Okay. So, you guys, in today's episode, I want to talk to you guys about how I took my exams during college, and we're not going to waste any time. Let's go ahead and dive right into this topic. Okay. So, I would say that my whole college experience was just an experience, but I would not have changed it for anything in the world. Like, the group of people that I met and that took this journey with me, like my first semester back into school, I would not have changed them for anything. We were very successful together. So, more so on topic though. Y'all didn't come here to hear about my first semester back, right? So, how did I take my exams? Well, the first couple of times I took exams, and I didn't take exams in my intro to speech communication class. So, we just did a lot of presentations in that class. However, I did take biology. And so, of course, I had a lab and a lecture. So, I took exams in both of those classes. And initially, my scribe that I had from accessibility, she was administering my quizzes and my tests and exams. But we quickly found out that that was not going to work. And I love my girl. Like, I love you, Tay. But we didn't know what the words were. We were struggling. We was like, it was really hard for her to give me context because she's not a biology professor or anything like that. So her, like, unless she was learning the material as well, she would not have known what the test was asking about, what the questions was doing, what the diagrams were. She couldn't really explain all of that 100% because we didn't know what we were looking at. So, and I'm like, yeah, trying to describe, like, pull things from my brain, like, did she describe it like this? Did she describe it like that? As in the professor. But yeah, once I brought this up to the professor, she quickly stepped in and was like, okay, well, how about I administer both your lab exam and your lecture exam? And after that, baby, I was smooth sailing. Like, smooth sailing. My lowest grade I ever made on one of my labs in her class was a 94. And on my final, I made a 100. Cheese. Yes. So I was really proud about that. In my lecture, I just feel like I ended the semester with a B, but it's all about all of the work that you put in, throughout the semester that really, really counts and everything like that. Because I can tell y'all now, like, I didn't make anything over. My highest grade of my raw test score was a 76. That's the highest I ever made. My lowest grade, we're not going to talk about it. Yeah, we can talk about it because we're being transparent. So I just want to tell you guys, like, what really made me do the switch and my professor stepped in to administer my test was because I was taking one of my exams and my accommodations were that I was supposed to have double the amount of time that everybody else had. Well, because the test is like on a prompter on a computer, there was no way for them to actually go in and, like, just alter my test without altering everybody else's, right? So that happened, and then we hold on, y'all, I'm thinking. So I took the test, but again, I told you guys, me and my scribe would struggle, like, with the diagrams and the pronunciation of a lot of the words. So I ended up making a 34 on that exam, and I was just like, that's not right. Like, first of all, I didn't have the double amount of testing time, but also I wasn't equipped to have everything I needed to be successful. And so that's basically what I emailed my professor and told her, like, I know this material well enough to make a better grade. And I don't believe that 34 should stand because my accommodations weren't met and my scribe couldn't describe the diagrams. So what are we going to do? And she stepped in and she was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is our plan of action. So the part that I breezed over in the beginning when I said we quickly learned that my professor, like, that my scribe administering the test wasn't going to work, that is because I made a 34 on one of my exams and I had to retake it. So Yes, if y'all hear a little rustling or anything, we have a new dog. And he moving around in his cage a lot. He get a little antsy. I guess it's time for him to go outside. But yes, and so my teachers would do their best to do alt text basically by describing diagrams to me, pictures to me. When I'm in lecture, I'll be sure to like, they're like, you need to know this picture. I'm like, okay, what is this picture? How does it look? How can I reference it? And just, I'm sorry, y'all. I keep looking up and I'm really not trying to. Be quiet, Bruce. Be quiet, Bruce. I'm recording. It's animals. Anywho, so yeah, it's like asking all of those contextual, is that a word? Asking all of those context questions, like, okay, like when we was talking about transfer RNA, in a lot of the pictures and diagrams and models of it, it looks like an isosceles triangle. So that was one of my clues. Like when I'm asking my teacher, that's my nephew screaming in the background. But when I'm asking my teacher, like, oh, what is this type of RNA? I'm like, oh, does it look like a triangle? Like, yes, it looks like a triangle. Like, oh, okay, I know that this is transfer RNA. So it's just those things like that. I would say that you really, really do need to advocate for yourself. Anybody who is thinking about going to school with a visual impairment or any type of disability, just make sure that you guys are advocating for yourselves and know how you would like your test administered. Because again, like, excuse me, I started at a community college level because I knew that the class sizes will be a little smaller than the university, and that my teacher may have the opportunity to work with me one-on-one if it was need be and I was struggling, you know? So that is how I took my test and how we got it done. If you guys have any more specific questions on how I took my exams, then I am always open for questions. Don't forget to sign into the classroom in the comments. Subscribe. And yes, I will see you guys later until we meet in the classroom again. Toodles, everybody.